Our Reggae Nation continues its absolutely engaging interview with Johnny Gourzong. Join us now as he talks about his opinion on the evolution of reggae and his love for music. Before we started our little chat, we were having a discussion on the origins of reggae, and you were giving some more insight into how the reggae beat started. Just remind us and just tell our viewers from your recollection.
Well, and this is just my personal recollection.
Yes, man.
So I am
yes,
no
man.
authority.
I understand that. Yes.
But there was ska.
Yes.
And ska was born out of the American R&B, what they call shuffle music, jazz
Yes.
music, because the exponents of ska in Jamaica were all jazz-trained musicians.
Yes.
I said people like Roland Alfonso, Don Drummond,
Yes.
Tommy McCook, and many others. Jackie Metu,
Okay.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
Ernie Ranglin, and
Okay.
others.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So ska was the Jamaican music in the early 60s.
Yes.
That was out there.
Right.
And the horns were like the lead instruments in ska.
Yes.
And in the 60s, they slowed down the rhythms.
Right.
And out of that was born rocksteady.
Yes.
That's my recollection.
Yes. Yes.
And there was less emphasis on the horn section.
Yes.
And then in the latter part of the 60s now, maybe just about going to the 70s, that's when reggae was a transition again out of rocksteady.
Right. And you were telling me that Bob Marley started with ska.
Bob Marley started
Yes,
with ska
yeah.
because a lot of his early songs, he did over some covers like Go Jimmy Go was a
Yes.
cover he did. He did One Love was a ska song.
And I was quite surprised.
Simmer
to
Down,
learn.
Simmer Down is a ska
yes,
song,
yes,
yeah.
Yes. But he did that with the Wailers.
Yeah.
Yes,
All of those
yes.
were the Wailers. But you remember
Right.
when he came back, from Delaware,
Yes.
he rejoined the Wailers, and then they now started to play what, in my opinion, was
Yes.
early reggae.
Early
People
reggae.
Like songs like Small Axe,
Yes.
Duppy Conqueror, those
Yes.
songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that in your recollection
That's my
was
recollection.
how the reggae started.
Well, not just with Bob Marley,
Yes.
I mean many
Okay,
others
there
at the
were
time,
others,
yes,
but-
because a lot of the rocksteady artists
Yes.
also, like the Heptones,
Yes.
like the Melodians,
Yes.
people like that, they also,
Derek
there's-
Morgan.
Derek Morgan was ska,
He was ska.
and then he moved into rocksteady and also did reggae too. So he
Yes.
went across the whole spectrum,
Okay.
And of course there was Desmond Dekker and the Aces,
Yes.
into
Leroy
reggae.
Siblings was also a part of a trio.
The Heptones.
That was the Heptones.
Yeah, so
Okay.
they were big in rocksteady,
Yes.
but they moved into reggae.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you also told me about Jimmy Cliff, who started
Jimmy Cliff
as
was
ska.
in ska, yes.
We are surprised to know.
Yeah, man.
Well, let me speak for myself. I just know Jimmy Cliff as as Jimmy Cliff. His music is just Jimmy Cliff because it has a unique sound, a unique vibe. So it was quite surprising when you told me that he started out as ska.
Oh, definitely, yes.
I was quite surprised.
Yes,
surprised.
I mean, songs like Hurricane Hattie and
I don't know
My
that song.
Jamaican Girl. And,
That's it.
yeah,
That's Jimmy Cliff.
Not Jimmy Cliff,
You know-
Vietnam.
No, I probably shouldn't be saying that out loud. I didn't know that was Jimmy Cliff.
Yes.
My Jamaican
Yes, and of
girl.
course, Tootsie Bird, Toots
Yes,
and the
loved-
Maytals,
yeah, loved
they were
Toots.
ska,
Yeah, loved Toots.
went into some
Yes,
rocksteady, and then they
yes.
came back.
He
It was-
helped to build ska music.
Yes, oh yes,
Yes,
oh yes,
yes,
oh
yes.
yes,
Yes.
oh yes.
So out of that era, your love for reggae developed.
Of course, of course. I was a big ska man, big
Yes.
rocksteady man, big reggae fan.
Yeah. So reggae, would you say, was born in Kingston?
I would think
You
so.
would think
Yes,
so.
definitely.
So you came to Kingston to enjoy reggae music.
Well, Kingston was exporting it to all
To
over.
one
Yes,
way.
oh, of course.
Okay. So
of
what
course.
type of events were around that
Stage shows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What were there any annual events that propagated the growing reggae music?
Well, not until Sunsplash came around,
And what year was that?
Sunsplash never came around until 1978.
Okay.
That was the first staging of Sunsplash.
Okay.
At Jared Park in Montego Bay. But
Okay.
prior to that, it was just different shows.
Okay.
That they had like at Independence and so on.
I
or
see.
shows in theaters.
Oh, so there
Yeah.
wasn't before Sunsplash.
There was no
wasn't
music
no
festival,
organized music festival
as we know it today.
Okay,
no,
so
no.
so it was a promoter perhaps invited
right,
some
bringing
musicians
down a
to come.
Desmond Dekker or Bob
Okay.
Marley or whoever it was.
And of course you had to be there.
Well, any opportunity I got.
So it brings me now to what people identify you with. Reggae Sumfest. Started in 1993 to fill the void that Sunsplash created when it left Montego Bay.
Correct.
What was happening at the time? What are some of the events, the happenings, the thought processes that influenced you in creating
it wasn't me alone.
Sumfest? Yes.
It was, I got a phone. I was at the bank.
Yes, the bank.
Yes, I actually, I used to bank Reggae Sunsplash,
Yes.
the company, Synergy at
I
the
see what you
time.
mean. Okay.
So I became very friendly with the principals of the company, people
Okay.
like Ronnie Burke and others. Don Green was our old schoolmate. He went to Cornwall.
Yes.
So we knew each other,
Okay.
and of course I was a splasher, so I wouldn't miss any Sunsplash at all. I was there,
Okay.
all night,
Yes.
every night.
Yes.
And then I got a call from a good friend
Uh-huh.
and a music lover, and he
Yes.
said, Sunsplash not coming back.
Yes.
They signed some agreement with Jam World, and
Yes.
they're gone permanently.
Okay.
And I said, but every year Ronnie says this because there had some little issues,
Yes.
with not being able to secure sufficient hotel rooms
Right.
and getting the support from the business community,
Yes, because I
etc.
remember it was a sponsorship issue at one point.
Sponsorship
Yes.
issues. So
uh-huh.
I called him,
Yes.
and he said, no, this time, we are locked into this new arrangement,
Uh-huh.
agreement, and we're out.
Oh dear.
So a few of us got together, about 4 or 5 of us got together and said, well, we have to fill this void.
Okay.
And while we were talking around it and trying to conceive and conceptualize,
Yes. Yes.
some kind of festival to fill it, there was a group of business people with tourism interests
In
who were
Montego Bay.
in Montego Bay, who were all so sitting down, trying to find a way to put on something. Well, of course, Montego Bay not being a big place.
Yes.
We soon heard about them. They heard about us, people we knew. So we
Okay.
sat together, and out of that, Summerfest Productions Limited was formed, and
Okay.
Reggae Sumfest was conceived.
Okay.
What happened was
Yes.
that, and I don't want to belabor the point,
No
but what
problem.
happened was that our venue
Yes.
at the time was a
Yes.
swamp. That was not where Sunsplash was held. Sunsplash was held, I don't know if you know, Lagoons now, down there. It was called the Bob Marley Entertainment
Okay.
Complex
Okay.
down in
Okay.
Montego, Freeport.
Okay.
And it was owned by the UDC.
Yes.
So they took a decision that they were going to sell it to private interests.
I see.
And they did.
Right.
And they offered where we are now,
Yes.
which was a swamp at the
Yes.
time. That was
Okay.
in February of 1993.
Yes.
To Synergy,
Yes.
who rejected it.
Okay.
And perhaps with good reason.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and hence the move out of Montego Bay.
Okay. Okay.
So we bought into it and formed Summerfest Productions
Okay.
Limited. We had a X amount of original shareholders. I don't
Yes.
think Daryl was one,
Right.
nor was Walter.
Right.
But we went to their offices and we saw this nice artist impressions, on a wall. It's like this nice pretty painting here.
Yes.
Unfortunately, about 8 weeks before the event, they had exhausted their budget.
Right.
So we were left in a quandary.
Wow.
How do we stage this event?
Yes.
So we had to now go and expand the shareholder base, and that is when
Okay.
Daryl and Walter
Okay.
came in.
I saw what you mean. I saw what you mean.
Because Robert Russell, who you might know,
Yes,
he was
yes.
a good friend of Daryl,
Yes.
all of us knew Walter from Walters, and Walter went to Cornwall too.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Okay.
so.
Okay.
And others, many others.
Yes.
So
Okay.
we, and then we put in more money, we borrowed money, and Bram,
Okay.
first Reggae Sumfest.
First Reggae Sumfest, 1993. How difficult was it? What were the types of challenges? Well,
Oh,
you just alluded
huge
to one.
challenges with
in
with the venue,
financial, yes.
with all kind of other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said Catherine Hall was a swamp. Was it your company that dumped it up?
No, UDC.
UDC dumped
Yes,
it?
they dumped it
Okay,
up.
okay.
So they did all the initial preparation. It's just that
Okay.
they never brought it to a state of what I would call concert readiness.
I see.
And in my opinion,
Yes.
and I know this is an ongoing quarrel that we have with them,
Right.
is that they have never completed it
Okay.
based on those artist impressions that we bought into.
I see. I see.
So we have had to, along with them,
Yes.
because they have been very supportive,
Yes, yes, yes.
along with them, over this 20 years, we have brought about different improvements. Because initially, for example, it was a mall-based
Okay.
venue.
Yes.
And then
I
we
recall.
asphalted, the backstage.
Yes, yes.
And then they grassed the concert area.
I see what you mean.
In conjunction with us. So we brought about a lot of the improvements, even the parking on site now.
Yes.
There was no parking there
Yes, I
initially.
recall that we used to park on the road.
On the road
Yes,
or at the
I
football
remember.
field, which they
Right.
went and tore up, and then that created a big problem.
A
So-
lot of challenges in starting.
Oh man, some of them
challenges.
seemed to be insurmountable at the time.
But you overcame.
Yeah, the shareholders were loyal. They stepped up to the plate, and we
Yes.
kind of,
Yes.
we were resolute,
Yes.
resilient.
Yes.
And-
Evidently. With you from conception was Red Stripe.
In those days, it was Deno and Geddy.
I see.
It was Jamaican one.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
So now it's not with Diageo.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And of course, Real Neville was there. Air Jamaica was there with
Yes.
us. And of course, the tourist board.
Uh-huh.
But in a small way. Everybody was there in a small way because
Okay.
nobody knew who we were.
Yes. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
okay,
we were
yes.
like the new kids on the block.
Okay.
So
Okay. So how was
Just-
the partnership at that time with Dennis and Geddes? How was it formed? Because they have continued to support.
Through Red Stripe.
Through
Oh,
Red
yes.
Stripe,
Oh, yes.
So
Oh,
how
yes.
was that? Since that
I think we just put in a sponsorship proposal,
Yes.
and of course, I'm sure we knew people there at the
Yes.
time. Because who don't know people working with Ray and Neville and
Yes. Yeah.
who don't drink beer and
Of
rum in
course,
Jamaica,
of
you know?
course. We're not hiding. We're not hiding.
I mean, like Ray and Neville, the managing director at the
Yes.
time, they're still my good friend, Billy McConnell.
Yes.
We shoot birds.
Okay.
And he's a Montegonian. So,
Okay,
there was
okay.
always somebody that you knew that you could go talk to.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Reggae Nation enjoying the interview with Johnny Gourzong. When we come back, Mr. Gourzong speaks to us about Sumfest, how it was born, and how it grew.